And we will stand with you as we seek answers and take action. How many innocent people in our country, from little children to church members to movie theater attendees, how many people do we need to see cut down before we act?
All right, joining us now, folks, John Lott Jr., president of Crime Prevention Research Center. It's crimeresearch.org and author of More Guns, Less Crime. John, welcome. All right, your reaction to, I mean, they're focusing now on the flag. You know, Walmart and every Amazon, everybody's taking the flag down. That's going to go away. But they're going to come after our guns. What's your reaction to what Hillary said?
Well, I mean, I'm disgusted and upset by the tragedies that we face here, but my concern is that none of the rules that she's pushing are going to help. I don't know, these expanded background checks or others would have stopped Newtown or any of these other cases like Charleston. What concerns me is that there is a common feature with these, and that is that they're gun-free zones, that these killers, time after time, try to pick out places where people aren't able to defend themselves. Even this Charleston case, it was reported by friends of this killer that his primary target was originally going to be the College of Charleston, but he had decided against that because they had armed security guards that were there. And so he went after a place that was undefended. And whether you look at the Santa Barbara killer last year or the mass killer in Canada or other cases, time after time, these killers try to pick places where victims can't defend themselves.
And what you mean by that, you mean gun-free zones or where they're not allowed to carry a gun?
Exactly. You know, even in the James Holmes trial, one of the things that came out in his diary is that he was thinking about going after an airport, but there were guns there at the airport, and he didn't want to go after a target where people could stop him.
How do we, I mean, you wrote a piece recently about, you know, more evidence that that these killers are deterred. You know, the reverse is true too, like you just said. They're deterred by people with guns, and
right.
and this shooter specifically. How do we? I guess it's up to the media to get that word out.
Well, the media refuses to cover this. You know, there's so many stories that come out that talk about the type of gun used, talk about how he obtained the gun, and they almost always get them wrong. They got him wrong in the Charleston case here, both particularly in terms of how he had obtained the gun. It's only come out now that he had actually passed a criminal background check, that his mom had taken away the gun from him and he had stolen it back from her without her knowledge. But, you know, the easiest thing to check in these cases is whether or not guns were banned from the area. And yet, you just cannot find news stories that mention that. When I go and I talk to news editors at different bureaus, they say, well, that would be interjecting politics in the story to be able to do that. But somehow this notion about how the person supposedly obtained the gun or the gun that was used, you know, and this made-up notion of so-called assault weapons or what have you, that's not interjecting politics, according to
No, well, I think everybody needs to go to johnrlott.blogspot.com.
Crimeresearch.org would be
.org, okay, and check out everything John has written about this. And you know, the facts are the facts, and the numbers are the numbers, and the statistics are the statistics, and you're not hearing that from the politicians. John, great to talk to you as always, sir. Coming up next, David Horowitz of the Freedom Center. Don't go away.